Hey. My name is Bianca Kemp and I am your English instructor. Thanks for joining me and good job. Okay, in today's lesson, we are going to learn how to ask and answer questions about who was at an event, such as a party or a barbecue. If you're ready, I'll see you inside. Enjoy. Hello. Welcome. Let's review the new vocabulary together. Fun. She looks like she's having lots of fun. Classmate. Boring. Aunt. Co-worker. Neighbor. Uncle. Exciting. Friend. Cousin. Relaxing. Okay, now repeat after me, please. Relaxing. Aunt. Cousin. Neighbor. Fun. Uncle. Co-worker. Exciting. Friend. Classmate. Boring. Tremendous work. Time for grammar, my favorite. So let's look at the chart together. I'm going to give you 1 or 2 minutes to look at it before I explain it. Okay, awesome. So imagine that your family has a birthday party. Your family has a birthday party for your brother. He's turning 22. Okay, so if you are talking about the birthday party for your brother who is turning 22, you're talking about this party with your friend. And your friend may ask you some questions about the birthday party. So these on the left are some questions your friend may ask you. On the right, we've got some answers you could give your friend. We've got long answers here and short answers here. So let's look at the first question on the left. Your friend may ask you, who was there? Who was at your brother's birthday party? Okay? Who? Now, when we hear or see the question word who, we always want to think of a person. Okay? How much? We think of money, cha-ching. When? We think of time, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. What? We think of information. Where? We think of place, at the library, at the hospital, at home. But when we see or hear the word who, we think of a person. So we are asking a question about a person. Our question is then, who was there? And was, we know, is the past of is. So we had the birthday party, let's say last week, and your friend is asking you, hey, who was there? Let's see, how would you answer? My neighbor was there. My neighbor was there. Who was there? Who was at the birthday party? My neighbor was there. My cousin was there. My co-workers were there. My aunts were there. So who was there? My neighbor was there. My cousin was there. My co-workers were there. And my aunts were there. So let's check this out here. Let's check this out. We've got was and we've got were here. Now we know was and were, both of these are the past tense, past meaning already finished. Okay, so was and were are the past of is and are. So past of is and are. Okay, and it's disappearing. So why do we have was here and were there? Let's look. My neighbor was. My co-workers were. Exactly. So we use was with one person. My neighbor was there. Okay? But we use were. Let's see where my mouse is. We use were with two or more. So we've got co-workers and aunts, which means there may be 2 co-workers, 3 co-workers, 10 co-workers, 5 aunts, 20 aunts. Okay? And then we just change, we call these possessive adjectives. We change these depending on the person who is answering the question. Okay? So, who was there? My neighbor was there. My cousin was there. My aunt was there. My friend was there. My husband was there. But his co-workers were there. Her aunts were there. Their friends were there. Great. Okay. All right. Hold that as we go to the bottom here. So we've got some more questions. Now, these questions begin with a form of the verb be. And in this case, it's the past tense, which we saw here, was and were. We know was we use for one person. Were we use for two or more. Okay. And we also know that if we start a question with the verb be, okay, is, are, am in the present, was, were in the past, then the answer has to be a yes or a no. A yes or a no. So these questions begin with a form of the verb be. Was for one, were for two or more. So that means that our answer has to be a yes or a no. Whereas here, who, we can't say who was there, yes. When we have the question word who, we need a person in the answer. But when the question begins with the verb be in some form, then our answer is going to have a yes or a no. So let's check it out. Up top we have, was your aunt there? Was your aunt there? Was your aunt there? Yes, well, it should be she. Yes, she was. Or no, she wasn't. Was your aunt there? Yes, she was. No, she wasn't. Was her aunt there? Yes, she was. No, she wasn't. Was Bushra's aunt there? Yes, she was. No, she wasn't. Okay, and here, instead of aunt, we could say cousin, friend, neighbor, husband, wife, teacher, anything, any person. So remember, was is for one person in this case. Were is for two or more. So now we have, were your co-workers there? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. Were your co-workers there? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. And we use were because co-workers is plural. It has an S. Since it has an S on the end, it means there are two or more. Were his co-workers there? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. Again, so, was your aunt there? Yes, she was. No, she wasn't. Were their co-workers there? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. And again, in the way that we have our what we call possessive adjectives here that change according to who is answering the question, we have our possessive adjectives here that change according to who we are asking about. Was your aunt there? Was her aunt there? Was their aunt there? Yes, she was. No, she wasn't. Good job. Okay, so what are some examples? Let's look. Who was there? Our classmates were there. Classmates has an S, which means two or more, which means we need were. Who was there? Our classmates were there. And notice with the question who, we always ask who was. Who was? We never ask who were there. Always who was, because who is considered singular. So who was there? Our classmates were there. Was your husband there? Remember, if a question begins with the verb be in some form, was, were in the past, am, is, are in the present, then our answer must have a yes or a no. So was your husband there? Yes. We could say, yes, my husband was there, or yes, he was. So we learned, yes, he was. But if we wanted to say the long answer, we would say yes, okay, the proper form of who was asked about. So instead of your husband, yes, my husband was there. Was your husband there? Yes, my husband was there. Or yes, he was. Was your husband there? Yes, he was. Was his coworker there? No, he wasn't. Who was there? Again, who lets us know we are asking about people. We want to know some information. We want to know people, details with people. Who was there? My friends were there. My friends were there. And since friends has an S, okay, it means two or more, and we need were. Who was there? Their sisters were there. Was Susanna's cousin there? Yes, she was. Was Susanna's cousin there? Yes, she was. Okay, perfect. Now it's your turn. Fill in the correct words for each blank. Good luck. How did you do? How was it? Easy? Difficult? Let's check. Awesome. So let's read this together. Darius is 29 and lives in Burbank, California. California is a state on the West Coast in the United States. He is from Greece. He lives in a big new apartment with his wife and 2 sons. They have one neighbor. Her name is Anna. She is 84. They have 2 pets. Darius and his sons like to bake cookies on weekends. Last weekend, Darius, his wife, and 2 sons went to an exciting party on their street. Who was there? His co-workers, cousins, and brother were there. Were his friends there too? Yes, they were. Darius likes rock and hip-hop. The DJ at the party played lots of rock and hip-hop music. Everyone had an amazing time. Terrific!